So let's raise the big questions. As you saw earlier when I spoke to Mr. Thiket, he was very clear that this is the beginning. The beginning, he believes, of perhaps the end of the farm protest, at least for now. The big questions, of course, what prompted the farm laws rollback? Is the rollback for electoral benefit? How will this rollback actually impact elections? Is the rollback a vindication, a victory for the farmers? And is it time for the farmers to end the protest? Just some of the questions we're raising, but I'm going to focus on the politics now because Rahul Srivastava, our National Affairs Editor, is with us. Gaurav Vallabh, Congress's spokesperson, is with us. Avik Saha, President Jai Kisan Andolan, is with us. And Nupur Sharma, BJP spokesperson, is with us. Naresh Gujral, Akali Dal MP, will also join us. I want to come to you first, though, Nupur Sharma, because the BJP is the party which, in a sense, at the center, has driven these farm laws. And before I come to you, I just want you to listen to what your leaders were saying about the farmers over the last 12 months, from Tukde Tukde gang to Khalistanis and Maoists. Listen to them, and I want to understand from you whether today you are also willing to roll back what you all said about the farmers like the Prime Minister has. Listen in for a moment.
खालिस्तानी कनेक्शन की बात सर इसमें सामने आ रही है, ऐसा भी कुछ अभी तक कोई इनपुट मिला है?
इनपुट ये है कि कुछ इस प्रकार के अनवांटेड एलिमेंट्स ये इस भीड़ के अंदर आए हुए हैं और हमारे पास रिपोर्ट्स जो हैं, अब इसका खुलासा अभी करना ठीक नहीं है, लेकिन जैसे ही कोई पुख्ता प्रमाण मिलेगा आपको बताएंगे। कुछ उन्होंने नारे बोले हैं, एकदम सीधे सीधे नारे बोलते हैं।
हल जो किसान है उनसे तो निकल आएगा, पर जो उकसाने का काम कर रहे हैं, जो वहाँ पहुँच गए हैं बिना बुलाए, वो व्यवधान थोड़ा कर रहे हैं। अब ये लोग ऐसे होते ही हैं
कि भोले भाले किसान हैं, लेकिन उनके बीच में कुछ टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग के लोग भी घुस गए हैं और मीडिया भी देख रही है। किसान भोले भाले हैं, लेकिन कुछ लोग उसमें शामिल हो गए हैं।
Has the Tukde Tukde gang among the Kisans, Nupur Sharma, won out? Do you accept that the BJP and the Prime Minister have accepted the voice of the Kisan today by rolling back these farm laws?
Good evening to you, Rajdeep, to your panelists and to your viewers. But from the pilot you showed, I didn't hear any single BJP leader describing any Kisan with flowery language. Rather, what I heard some BJP leaders has been repeated by the All India Kisan Congress joint convener, Gursimran Singh Mand, and also the MP of Congress Party, Ravneet Bittu. In fact, Mr. Mand went and gave a statement to the police in Haryana to this effect. But that is not the issue. Nobody should be name-calling any actual farmer. My own Nanihal, my Nani side of family is still into farming in Bijnor, and no anap-chanap language should be used for them. However, we all saw that some untoward incidents did take place on January 26th. Maybe a Nikhil Bhalla, who is a practicing lawyer in the Delhi High Court, happens to be in the Congress party, would be able to explain his presence atop a tractor at Lal Killa that day, on the fateful day. But that is not the issue. I think today we need to thank the Honorable Prime Minister. What he did today was a very statesman-like thing. It is indeed unfortunate that we failed, and I also participated in a lot of these farm law ordinance and farm law bill debates on television, that we failed somehow to explain the benefits of these three bills to over 80% of our farming family in India, which belongs to, the small farmers. They have less than 2 hectares of land, and when they have growing families, they get divided further and leaving them with very small means.
It's taken you 1 year almost to, it's taken you almost one year and an election.
That's what you asked. Well,
it's taken you almost 1 year to recognize that the farmers have a voice, ma'am, and that the farmers, and more than 500 farmers have died. And now the government of the day says we realize that perhaps we were not able to get our message across. Through the winter and the summer, the farmers have been on the border. Well, and the fact is they have been called all kinds of names.
Well, Rajdeep, I don't think I need to reiterate that I do not stand for anybody name-calling any farmer any actual farmer, and that's not what you showed in your pilot either. But when you say it's taken you 1 year to realize that farmers have a voice, I think pay attention to what the Honorable Prime Minister said. He said we failed in explaining well to one section of the farmers, to say that all 16 crore farmers, as the number goes, were on the streets against these 3 farm laws. That's not the case. To even argue that these reforms were absolutely new, well, there was a standing committee of the parliament wherein even opposition leaders and MPs and all opposition parties wanted these very reforms. So much so, Netaji from Samajwadi Party, I heard Mr. Akhilesh Yadav in his press conference today, Netaji himself was also mooting these very reforms. In fact, Congress went to the extent of claiming in their manifesto of 2019 parliamentary election that they would repeal and do away with APMCs altogether. That was not a part of these 3 laws that were promulgated. Yet, we agree, and the Prime Minister thereafter and therefore has apologized that we perhaps failed in explaining the benefits of these 3 laws to that one section of farmers.
Okay.
And we thereby apologize. And I heard Mr. Tiket, and just to put things in perspective,
I'm sorry to push you.
Just add
I'm sorry to push you.
Allow me to add one more line.
Ma'am, I'm going to push you. There was no apology
line,
when farmers died. There were no apologies when the farmers died. There were no apologies when the farmers were struggling. But there is an apology today on the eve of the UP Punjab elections. Am I being cynical when I say that? That suddenly this recognition comes of needing to apologize to the farmer.
Are.
The inner voice only comes when the election bugle is about to be sounded.
May I answer? May I answer this? Well, you absolutely are being cynical. There were 11 rounds of discussions. That's in public domain. The matter reached the Honorable Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court ordered a stay on these laws. For that matter, the government of the day agreed to extend the stay to 18 months, not the limitation that was awarded by the Honorable Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court said these many months. The government said no, 18 months. In fact, come on the table. The Supreme Court went ahead and formed a committee wherein some of our Kisan brethren refused to appear before or place any of their facts on record. Now, to say that this has happened because of elections, you are choosing to link it to politics. We aren't. These laws were in place. We won in Assam. We performed as we did from 3 to 77 in West Bengal. We performed in Puducherry. In fact, it's the first time we are serving in Puducherry government. In fact, we even won the Panchayati elections in Uttar Pradesh. We performed well in the local administration election in Gujarat and also GHMC. So, if you want to link it to elections, you're free to do it. But that is not the reason behind it.
Why? What is the reason? What is the reason behind it is a critical question. Rahul Srivastav, you're perhaps the best person to answer that because you track the BJP. What suddenly, on Guru Purab morning, the Prime Minister suddenly decides it's time to apologize to the nation and repeal the farm laws? Nupur Sharma says there is nothing to do with the elections. Now, if that's the case, I'm probably Neil Armstrong. What about you?
Rajiv, I think if you see the timing perhaps tells the story. There are going to be elections at the end of February and early March in 2 critical states, Punjab and Punjab and UP. That's very critical for the BJP and UP especially. Now, if you want to repeal the bills before the Model Code of Conduct, perhaps even the start of the budget session, that's when the budget is introduced. So the only time to take it to Parliament, repeal it, is the winter session. Ahead of the winter session starting on the 29th. Now, in that scenario, this was the only window of opportunity open for the government. Now, what is interesting, Rajdeep, the Prime Minister could have done it by sending out a press release and a nudge kind of information leak. But the Prime Minister has put his face on a political policy retreat. I will not say it's a political policy. It's an economic policy retreat on which he has put his face. That's also a very deliberate attempt to put the credibility of the Prime Minister. I think in a way it's brave to do that. He could have asked the Agriculture Minister to do it, or Piyush Goyal or somebody else to do it who are talking to the farmers. But he has done it largely. It's a retreat. it is time to the elections. The BJP had information from Uttar Pradesh that this is going to hurt them. Because the farmers in Western UP, where the BJP did very well, I think BJP virtually walked away with 100 seats in that area. And BJP wants to repeat that UP is critical, not in Punjab as much, Rajdeep, primarily because in Punjab, even if there is an alliance with Amrinder or with Akalis who come back because they went away because of farm bills, the BJP will still be number 2 party or number 3. But in UP, it's number 1 party. It has to retain, if not loot too many seats. I think the real story emerging from this is that the Prime Minister wanted to change the perception that he was arrogant. That's what opposition was saying, that the arrogance of numbers pushed him to create a bill like this without talking. I think the other lesson is that you may have the numbers, but in parliamentary democracy, public opinion does matter.
I think you're making very important points there, and let's take that to the opposition. Gaurav Vallabh, you among others and the Congress party has called the Prime Minister arrogant, that the Prime Minister was trying to ram through bills like the farm laws through Parliament. He's now retreated. When someone retreats in politics, he's listening to the people. So therefore, you could argue the Prime Minister at least has listened to the voices of the people who were affected and has pulled back. You can question the timing. Will you question the intent as well?
Rajdeep, first of all, I would like to offer my tribute to 750 farmers who lost their lives sitting on the borders of Delhi, and government was not having time to talk to them. I can only say that in our history, November 19, 2021 will be remembered when 750 farmers' sacrifice have won over the arrogant Prime Minister. That is what happened. Now, coming to your question precisely, Rajdeep, it is purely a change of heart is due to the electoral imperatives. And I wish that if, God willing, if the Punjab and Uttar Pradesh elections were scheduled a year back, we can save 750 lives, we can save 750 farmers. And this is the attitude of this government, because what Nupurji was saying, I was listening very carefully. She was telling that PM is saying we were not able to explain farmers about the benefits of these 3 laws. Nupurji, kisan ko samajh mein aa gaya sari baat aapki, that these 3 farm laws, you are going to give the entire agriculture in the hands of your few crony friends. That they understood very well. Second point, she is telling that we were having a meeting. Nupurji, you will be surprised to know that the last meeting with these farmers union was on 22nd January 2021. For last 10 months, there is a complete deadlock. Farmer unions were writing to the government that we want to talk, but government was not having time. Then coming
but
to
Gaurav, they've listened today. Gaurav, they have listened today. The Prime Minister's supporters are saying, look, in a democracy, you listen to the voice of the people. You could argue that it could have happened 10 months ago when the Supreme Court put a stay on these laws. But the fact is, will you concede? And at the end of the day, politics is about winning elections. So if the Prime Minister's sole aim is is a tactical personal retreat to win an election, he's a politician.
Rajdeep, it is not Prime Minister is listening farmers. He got a report that BJP is going to be washed out from Uttar Pradesh and Punjab, they are not in contest. So saying that they are taking decision based on Punjab, nobody knows what is BJP. So what I mean to say that they got a feedback that from Uttar Pradesh, Boria Bistar Summit gaya. So they are not listening the farmers' voice. They are listening some feedback from the agencies who are doing the pre-election surveys, and they gave the output to Honorable Prime Minister ki Boria Bistar bandhna padega. And this is the attitude of this government, Rajdeep. After coming to power, they stopped bonus to the farmers. They gave 25,000 crore to their crony friends in the name of Fasal Bima Yojana. In last 7 years, there is an increase of cultivation of by rupees 25,000 per hectare, and this is not my data. And as per the latest report by NSO, a farmer earns 27 rupees a day. And in next 3 months, we are waiting for that day when Prime Minister had assured the country that farmers' income is going to be doubled. So we want what is the roadmap of MSP, how farmers' income is going to be doubled, how the farmers' debt is going to be reduced, because in last 7 years, it got increased from 45,000 to 74,121 rupees per farmer's family. This is the debt. So we want answer to these questions, and I will again say that today's day will be remembered in the history when the sacrifice of 750 farmers had won over the arrogant, egoist Prime Minister.
Okay, you believe that the Prime Minister's ego, in a sense, has lost out to the... Now, I'll let you... Ma'am, just a minute. Avik Saha is waiting because today is a big day for those involved with the farmer movement. Do you see this, Avik Saha, as a victory for the farmers, or do you see it as political parties are seeing it as victories for either the Congress party or indeed or a defeat for the BJP? Before that, just listen to what Rahul Gandhi said, because in a way Rahul Gandhi was among those leaders who several months ago said the Prime Minister will have to take back these laws. Listen to Rahul Gandhi and then I'll come to you, Mr. Saha.
I'm very, very proud of what the farmers are doing, and I fully support the farmers, and I will continue to stand with them. I raised their issue in a yatra in Punjab, and we will continue to do it. Mark my words, take it from me. These laws, the government will be forced to take them back.
So whose victory is this, Avik Saha? That of the farmers who remarkably have stood together relatively non-violently, or of the political parties who are the opposition which is claiming victory in a way today?
Rajdeep, it's your show. You have the right to set the narrative. But the farmers from day one till today have not seen this in the context, in the binary of defeat and victory, loser and winner. We had certain finite, clear demands. We came to the capital of the country for those demands. We were stopped. That's what the agitation is all about. And the primary demand is that we must have a law for MSP. The Prime Minister today in his speech, and that's the part I'm going to focus on, said that I will form another committee. We know what are the fate of these committees. We are asking the question on implementation of the Swaminathan Committee. What happened to that? So committee is not...
How do you give a legal guarantee on MSP? No, Avik Saha, how do you give a legal guarantee on MSP? There are many who believe, and many reasoned economists who believe that many of these farm laws are necessary. India's agriculture sector needs to reform. The fact is that you are stuck on this legal guarantee of MSP. How does a government give you that in a law?
But the government already does so. The government goes to a mandi and purchases at MSP because the government believes it's a guarantee it has given. And we are proud of a government which stands by its guarantee. We are asking for it to be legalized. And there's nothing wrong with that.
How does it do it?
The economists who feel...
how does it do it? You're saying that this should be statutory. So you're saying that despite what the Prime Minister said today, until there is a statutory commitment in the law to MSP, you will continue with the agitation. It's not seen as the end of the road.
Rajdeep, I am quoting our Prime Minister in this. Chief Minister Narendra Modi demanded that a law for MSP to be made. Chief Minister Narendra Modi campaigned to become Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the plank of bringing an MSP law. What has changed? We are not asking for anything that Mr. Narendra Modi has not promised or spoken about. And the agitation, I'm not saying the agitation will not end. The committee that was announced today, and that's the part I want to focus on, nobody has clarified whether the recommendations of that committee will have binding effect on the government. And that's the key that will unlock the door. If it's another committee to spend some time, to waste some time discussing this back and forth, the agitation is not going to end. And that's going to be the hard nut to crack, Rajdeep. On whether the farmers
I want to also before interesting what you are saying, but before I come back to you, Nupur Sharma, I'm also joined at this moment by Naresh Gujral of the Akali Dal, because you're an Akali Dal Rajya Sabha MP, and there's a buzz in the air that now that the Prime Minister has made this announcement, the Akali Dal, which left the government on the farm laws, could well return ahead of the Punjab elections. Is there any possibility of that? Do you believe, Naresh Gujral, the Prime Minister has addressed most of your concerns?
Well, Rajdeep, there is no question of our going back to the BJP fold anymore. There is a huge trust deficit, and my party president today made it very clear that the question of our going back to the NDA does not arise. Today, after a year's struggle, it's a huge victory for the Indian farmer. It's a triumph of the Indian democracy. But the question of our going back does not arise because, as I said earlier, there is a huge trust deficit.
So therefore, how does today change? How does today change anything at all? In your view, do you believe that the Prime Minister, in a way, who was seen to have bypassed Parliament or at least bypassed the Rajya Sabha with a voice vote, today there's a recognition at the end of the day, you've got to go through processes, through consultation?
Well, I guess it was his political compulsion. He is in politics. He has to fight elections. Elections are coming up in UP, Punjab and other states. Farmers are up in arms. The BJP realized that they were on a back foot. So it is a political compulsion. This is no charity.
You know, it's interesting that you're saying that. You're therefore saying, A, you will not go back to the BJP because there's a trust deficit. You're saying that there is nothing that the Prime Minister has done apart from a compulsions of electoral politics. Naresh Gujral, we've got your view. Nupur Sharma, now you respond. Everyone that we've got on this show today is suggesting in a way that this is driven by politics, pure politics. Nothing wrong in that. That's what politicians do. They're supposed to respond to the changing politics. Why not accept that? That there is, it's not as if the Prime Minister got up today and said, oh, I'm feeling for the farmers. He realized there was an election calendar.
Well, Rajdeep, when has the government and the Prime Minister never felt for the farmers? For that matter, those people who are actually questioning should read August 5th, 2018 write-up by Mr. M. Swaminathan himself in the Times of India. How he is actually lauding the Narendra Modi ji government for bringing in and pushing the agricultural reforms and how it was increasing the farmers' income. For that matter, these very people, when they were in the standing committee of agricultural reforms, they were pushing for the same reforms. It's on video on record that sad leaders themselves were talking about these ordinances and their benefits. They may have had their reasons or compulsions to withdraw from the alliance with the Bharatiya Janata Party. But I have already told you when I started, and I have given you innumerable examples of West Bengal, of Assam, of Puducherry, of our local elections in Gujarat, Panchayat elections in UP and GHMC, where we have performed really well. But now I want to come back to Professor Vallabh.
So why wake up?
And before that, to Mr. Saha. Mr. Saha, you spoke about, you allow me to answer. There were many questions. You need to, I will answer all your questions, including yours. Mr. Saha, you rightfully brought up the issue. The Prime Minister did speak about setting up committees with representation from state governments, central government, from farmers, from agricultural scientists and economists as well. And I think we can wait another 10 days to see what form it would take, because 29th November, the winter session starts. Now, the fact is the Prime Minister said so, that, you know, I regret and I apologize that we failed in explaining benefits of these 3 farm laws, which were on the anvil for decades, not just years. But it's a bit rich for Professor Vallabh to sit here and call the one person apologizing for no fault of his as arrogant. But he will have an objection if I call Mr. Rahul Gandhi as foreign. Why? Because when these laws were passed, he was in a foreign country, even today he is in a foreign country.
The arrogance comes from the fact, just a minute. Ma'am, the arrogance comes from the fact that the Prime Minister himself called them Andolan GVs. Ma'am, just a minute.
Allow me to complete.
No, just a minute, ma'am.
Allow me to
just
complete.
A minute.
Well,
for months on end, they were called Andolan GVs. Some were called Tukre Gang. And you say there was a sense that the government, you concede at least that a majority government has realized that you have to listen to voices other than your own. That's all.
Have some tolerance, Rajdeep. You also said, for that matter, for which you were taken off air, that the police shot at a farmer, which was fake news. Now, please understand, nowhere in your pilot and nowhere has the Prime Minister said that the farmer or a Kisan is an Andolan GV or a Tukre gang member. It is in fact statements which Gursimran Singh Mann, All India Kisan Congress joint convener, and Ravneet Bittu himself have said that they have gotten diluted. Some motivated elements are there. Otherwise, pray tell me, Umar Khalid ki rihai karo aur ye karo wo karo. Are they farmers? Mia Khalifa and Rihanna, were they ever farmers? Today, pray tell me what they were doing.
At least on a day like today, why not say that? Why not do what the Prime Minister did and show some humility? Ma'am, on a day like today, why not say that yes, we got it wrong, we miscalculated? Why not on a day like today show some humility and say we miscalculated, mea culpa, like the Prime Minister did?
I have been agreeing. So are you trying to say that the Prime Minister and the country should apologize to Mia Khalifa? What is your point, Rajdeep?
No, mea culpa.
Is it not the NOP of that time from the Congress party who decided, allow me to please complete, Rajdeep. Is it not the NOP of the time who actually cited her example on the floor of the parliament? What was the need? But I do have something to ask of Professor Vallabh. While the Prime Minister has apologized and so have I, that as a spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, I may have failed in my duty to explain the benefits of these 3 laws which you were actually pushing as well in your manifesto in 2019. Please answer 2 questions for me. Why have you not raised the same voice in Wayanad where Mendis don't even exist? Why have you not done away with contract farming law in Punjab, which criminalizes and can jail a farmer for frustrating a contract? And point number 3, where was your regret when Digvijay Singh, as the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh on January 12th, 1998, ordered shoot at sight and killed 24 protesting farmers in Multai in Madhya Pradesh? I wish you had something to say about those protesting farmers, because we as a government in October 2020, before the Honorable Apex Court, via the Solicitor General, did say, we are not going to raise arms, we are not going to use coercive action against our farmers. And in January 26, 2021, may I please complete, allow me to complete. We also, that it was actually the policemen in their verdis who were actually attacked. No, allow me to complete my points. Since you've been heckling,
you finish your point. I've got limited time. It cannot be monopolized. Gaurav Vallabh, respond.
Please apologize for Multai.
Gaurav Vallabh, the sense that one is getting, the BJP wants to take the stand, and they can now, that they have effectively neutralized, they believe, the farm law, in some way, the pushback by the Prime Minister's decision today to roll back. The Congress party will now have to go into the elections without possibly, what is the issue? Has the Prime Minister taken the juice out of the backlash to farm laws by what he's done?
Rajdeep, first of all, madam, please, you had quoted a Times of India op-ed. It is not written by M.S. Swaminathan. It is written by Swaminathan Ankleshwar Iyer, who is a opinion writer for Times of India and Economic Times. थोड़ा मैडम पढ़ के आइए, ऐसे गलत जानकारी मत दीजिए, आप पढ़ी लिखी महिला है. Second point, madam.
Here it is, M.S. Swaminathan. Please show.
Please, ma'am. Please, ma'am. Please, let me complete, ma'am. Please don't interfere. Ma'am, please ban.
Focus karo is pe bhaiya. It says the Agriculture Mission Housing Modi government is shaping the future of farming and farmers. M.S. Swaminathan in TOI edit. There you go.
Please have some decency.
Here you go. Stop lying.
Ma'am,
I have caught you with your lie. Please show this. Please ban. Please focus. He's lying.
Please
ये झूठ बोलते हैं, प्रोफेसर झूठे हैं. आप फोकस कीजिए इस पे. मैं न्यूज दिखा रही हूँ, टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया, August 5th, 2018, 8:33 PM. M.S. Swaminathan in TOI edit. झूठ बोल रहे हैं ये, झूठ बोल रहे हैं ये. ये रहा इनका. ध्यान से देखिए, झूठे हैं आप.
Mumbai, I can't see my guests clearly, so please, the voices have to, the fact is, Gaurav Vallabh, I'm giving you 30 seconds to respond to how is the Congress now going to take this issue to the people. Let's be clear. The BJP, the Prime Minister has apologized. What is the Congress going to do?
I'm surprised to notice that why Madam hate Chief Minister Narendra Modi. When Chief Minister Narendra Modi had promised in 2011 in writing in a Consumer Affairs Committee report that MSP should be given as a legal right. Today, Madam is opposing Chief Minister Narendra Modi. Why you hate Chief Minister Narendra Modi, Madam? And I want an answer to your question, ma'am. That Prime Minister himself in the Parliament said, आंदोलनजीवी परजीवी की तरह होते हैं. नरेंद्र तोमर, द एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्टर, भीड़ इकट्ठा होने से कानून वापस नहीं होते. आंदोलनकारी टुकड़े टुकड़े
Okay.
गैंग है। मनोज तिवारी, राव साहब दानवे, आंदोलन के पीछे पाकिस्तान और चीन का हाथ है। रतनलाल हुई से बीजेपी एमपी, इन किसानों को यहीं मरना है। जेपी दलाल हुई से हरियाणा एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्टर, आंदोलन के पीछे पाकिस्तान का हाथ है। बीसी पाटिल कर्नाटका एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्टर, कायर है ये किसान। That is what their words are. And today, madam, you are not allowing me to complete. I am just asking when we are going to have the recommendation of Chief Minister Narendra Modi, which he gave in writing in 2011. That
just a minute, just a minute.
legal right.
We will,
Why you
we
are
will not.
opposing your own
Okay,
leaders?
I want away from the noise. I will get. I will get. No. They're both sides will continue. Rahul Srivastava. Rahul Srivastava. I want to know one thing. Rahul Srivastava, you're someone who what does this do to the Prime Minister's image? You know, this sort of 56-inch chest, someone who doesn't believe in taking back decisions. What does it do to his image? A quick 30-second answer on that.
Rajdeep, multiple factors. One, I think this is a bit of a broad shoulder. It does dent it a bit because a segment of the society will say that he went back on something that he was pushing very hard. But then I think there is a dividing line here. There is a parting line, as we were discussing in the afternoon. There is something called political policy, 370, CAA, NRC and others, on which there is no going back when it comes to Narendra Modi. On economic policies, land acquisition, which was a bill, not an act. It hadn't become an act when it was, the government took it back. And now this reform. On economic reforms, which can threaten the government's electoral or politics, when it comes to large vote banks, then there is a question mark. So the image dent element is there, but I think that's where I think what he has done is, he has tried to keep that political image intact by taking a economic hit. And that is why I think somewhere he will like to continue playing around that line instead of battling it out.
Allow me 10 seconds, Rajdeep.
Ma'am, I'm run completely out of time. I wish I could allow all of you more time.
No,
Naresh
I know,
Gujral is also patiently.
I think fake news should not be allowed. Rajdeep, please allow me. We are talking about the chair of the National Commission on Farmers. I would urge a professor of Whataboutery and of WhatsApp University, he needs to read this article dated August 5th, 2018, Agriculture Mission, how the Modi government is shaping the future of farmers. When you see, Rajdeep, one lie does not cover the second lie, and the second lie does not cover the first lie. I would want to know, does he regret the shoot at sight of...
Ma'am, today is a day to focus on what happened with the Prime Minister's statement, and that's what we've tried to do. I appreciate all of you joining us. I'm sorry I couldn't give many of you more time. We have run over time.